India is a land of many sects, languages, and customs. Yet, diversity does not justify foreign invasion. As poet Subramania Bharati declared, we have thousands of sects in India, but that does not justify foreign invasion. We are sons of one mother. We may have internal disputes, but we are brothers. This chapter explores how foreign rule entered India, how it expanded, and how Indians resisted it with courage, sacrifice, and an unbreakable sense of duty to the motherland. In the year 1600, the British East India Company, commonly known as the EIC, was established in England. It was created purely for trade, not governance. The company later received permission from the British Crown and, in 1612, from Mughal Emperor Jahangir to carry out trade in India.
In the winter fog of London, merchants ready their vessels for distant seas. Among them, a new enterprise unfurls its colours, bold letters on
The British set up their first shipping dock at Surat and their first factory at Masulipatnam. They traded Indian cotton, silk, indigo, dyes, sugar, opium, tea, and saltpetre.
In the 17th century, Surat's docks were alive with trade. Cotton bales, silk skeins, indigo cakes, and more bound for distant seas. A few decades later,
in workshops across the subcontinent, skilled hands turned cotton and silk into patterns unlike anything Europeans could weave. These vibrant textiles travelled by the chestful to the docks, where merchants tallied profits.
The East India Company expanded its operations to Madras, present-day Chennai, Bombay, now Mumbai, and Calcutta, now Kolkata. Trade generated prosperity. Prosperity brought influence. Influence slowly transformed into political power. By 1750, the British were firmly established on Indian soil.
Eastern coast, Madras, today's Chennai, shone as an early stronghold. To the west rose Bombay, now Mumbai, and in the east, Calcutta, known today as Kolkata.
In 1696, the British obtained permission from Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb to construct a fort in Calcutta. This fort was named Fort William. Initially, guards were appointed only to protect trading posts. Gradually, these guards were trained as soldiers. By the end of the 1760s, the East India Company possessed a formidable private army.
In 1696, on the banks of the Hooghly, the British began raising stone and earth for a stronghold that would command the river and the trade beyond. They called it Fort William, built with the blessing of Emperor Aurangzeb.
One of the most influential figures of British expansion was Robert Clive. Originally a clerk in the East India Company, Clive fought the Carnatic Wars against the French. These wars established British military and political supremacy in South India. Clive then turned his attention towards Bengal, one of the richest provinces in India.
From a weary company clerk, he forged himself into a soldier. In the heat of the Carnatic Wars, Robert Clive would rise to command. Britain and France clashed for control of India. One volley, one...
The Nawab of Bengal, Alivardi Khan, appointed his grandson Siraj-ud-Dawla as his successor in 1756. This decision angered Mir Jafar, the commander of the Bengal army. Siraj-ud-Dawla opposed the misuse of trade privileges by the British and ordered them to stop strengthening.
By the will of the throne of Bengal, the diadem is yours, my lord.
I accept it.
When the British disobeyed his orders, Siraj-ud-Dawla attacked Fort William. British soldiers were captured and imprisoned in a small, poorly ventilated dungeon. By the next morning, 123 British soldiers died of suffocation. This incident later came to be known as the Black Hole of Calcutta.
Black Hole of Calcutta, 1756. Trapped in a prison cell no larger than a closet, 100.
When news of the incident reached Madras, the British governor ordered that Siraj-ud-Dawla be subjugated. Mir Jafar, already dissatisfied, secretly entered into a conspiracy with the British, along with several nobles and businessmen. Siraj-ud-Dawla remained unaware of this betrayal. The Battle of Plassey. On 23rd June 1757, the Battle of Plassey was fought at Plassey in Bengal. Siraj-ud-Dawla faced the British with a massive army. Robert Clive commanded a much smaller force. As planned, Mir Jafar abandoned Siraj on the battlefield. Caught by surprise, Siraj attempted to flee but was captured and killed by Mir Jafar.
1997, June 23rd, 1757.
At Plassey in Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dowlah's grand army faces a small, determined British force. Musket volleys tear through the humid air. Cannon smoke blankets the field. Yet, on the Nawab's flank, Mir Jafar's reserve stands.
The British were declared victorious. Mir Jafar was placed on the throne as the Nawab of Bengal, but remained a puppet under British control. He was forced to pay enormous sums of money to the British, ruining him financially. To recover these losses, Mir Jafar heavily taxed farmers, worsening their suffering.
After the Battle of Plassey, Mir Jafar was placed on the throne of Bengal. To the world he was a Nawab, to the British a convenient puppet. Behind the curtain of pomp, decisions were whispered by officers in red, and fortunes flowed outward.
Robert Clive demanded massive payments. The East India Company's army and navy received the equivalent of 220 crores of rupees. The British government received nearly 700 crores. The company earned an annual income of about 135 crores. Committee members received 32 crores each. By 1760, Clive returned to England with personal wealth equivalent to nearly 500 crores in modern value.
1760. Clive's wealth, approximately 500 crores of rupees. Company revenue, about 135 crores per year.
Mir Qasim and the Battle of Buxar. Mir Jafar was replaced by Mir Qasim, who soon clashed with the British. Mir Qasim allied with the Nawab of Awadh and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. In 1764, their combined forces fought the British at the Battle of Buxar. The British emerged victorious and gained control over the entire Gangetic Plains, including present-day Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal.
On the plains near Buxar, October 1764, the combined forces of Bengal, Awadh, and the Mughal Emperor broke beneath disciplined volleys of the East India Company's army.
The Bengal Famine of 1770. In 1770, Bengal suffered one of the worst famines in Indian history. Unlike earlier famines caused by monsoon failures, this famine was man-made. Excessive taxation, forced the cultivation of cash crops, and export of food grains caused severe food shortages. The British ignored traditional Indian famine relief systems and took no steps to help. The famine spread across Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand, and Bangladesh. Millions died of starvation.
Bengal Famine 1770. A land baked dry, its people starving. Heavy taxes and forced cash crops turned hunger into catastrophe. While millions died, British ships carried away the grain. History remembers.
The British introduced a policy called the Subsidiary Alliance. Indian rulers were forbidden from maintaining independent armies. British troops were stationed in their kingdoms for protection. The rulers had to pay maintenance costs. British residents were appointed in royal courts. Failure to pay resulted in annexation. The rulers could not make treaties without British approval and had to accept British supremacy.
Your Highness, these are the terms agreed upon by the company. No independent army. Our troops will remain within your borders. Their upkeep at your treasury. Should these conditions fail, the territory will be annexed.
I hear you, Captain.
States that accepted the alliance. The Nizam of Hyderabad was one of the earliest rulers to accept the Subsidiary Alliance. Fearing Maratha attacks, the Nawab of Carnatic and the Kingdom of Travancore also entered into similar agreements. Large parts of South India came under indirect British control.
Consequences of the alliance. Rulers without armies became helpless puppets. The burden of maintaining British troops drained their treasuries. Administration collapsed. Local rulers lost interest in public welfare, leading to widespread suffering. Chamarajendra Vadiyar. Chamarajendra Vadiyar became Maharaj of Mysore on 23 September 1868. He focused on education, especially for women, promoted industries and introduced democratic practices. He sponsored Swami Vivekananda's historic journey to the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago in 1893. He was also a patron of music and culture. Palaikaras and Kattabomman. In Tamil Nadu, Palaikaras or Paligars governed territories under the Madurai Nayakas. Veerapandiya Kattabomman ruled Panjalangurchi from 1790. When the British imposed heavy taxes, Kattabomman refused to submit. First Battle of Panjalangurchi, 1799. The British attacked Panjalangurchi under Major Bannerman. Due to betrayal by Ettayappan and the cowardice of the Pudukkottai ruler, Kattabomman was captured. He was publicly hanged on 16 October 1799 along with his side Subramania Pillai. Umaithurai and Second Battle, 1801. Kattabomman's brother Umaithurai escaped from Palayamkottai prison. He led to resistance for 6 days. On 14 May 1801, Panjalanguruchi fell again wounded. Umaituri fled to Sivagangai. Sivagangai and Queen Velu Nachiyar. Sivagangai was ruled by King Muthu Aduganadar, supported by the Marudu Brothers. After his martyrdom in 1772, Queen Velu Nachiyar continued resistance. With support from Mysore, she defeated the British and reclaimed her throne in 1780. She ruled with justice and compassion until her death in 1796.
By order of the company, you will pay the tax due from this land.
This soil has fed my people for centuries. It owes you nothing.
Refusal will be taken as rebellion.
Then rebellion it shall be.
Sivagangai and Queen Velu Nachiyar. Sivagangai was ruled by King Muthu Aduganadar, supported by the Marudu Brothers. After his martyrdom in 1772, Queen Velu Nachiyar continued resistance. With support from Mysore, she defeated the British and reclaimed her throne in 1780. She ruled with justice and compassion until her death in 1796.
In 1780, Queen Velu Nachiyar rose against the British. Leading her warriors, she reclaimed Sivagangai and lit the spark of independence, the first Indian queen to fight the empire and to win.
Marudu Brothers and Proclamation. After Velu Nachiyar, the Marudu Brothers led resistance. On 12 June 1801, Chinnamarudu issued the Jambudvipa Proclamation from Srirangam Temple, calling for united resistance across India. They used guerrilla warfare to disrupt British control.
People of this sacred land, hear the words of our hearts. This 12th day of June, in the year 1801, we proclaim Jambudvipa united. No hand of empire shall break us when
British ruthlessness and executions. Unable to defeat them, the British resorted to brutal tactics. Forests were destroyed. The Marudu Brothers and Umaituri were captured and hanged on 16 November 1801 at Tripatur. More than 500 rebels were executed. Families were exiled to Penang in present-day Malaysia. End of polygar system. With the defeat of the polygars, Tamil Nadu came under direct British rule. The polygar system was abolished. The zamindari system was introduced by the East India Company. Marathas and the Anglo-Maratha War. The Maratha Empire reached its peak under Peshwa Madhavrao. After his death, internal rivalries weakened the empire. 3 Anglo-Maratha wars were fought. The final defeat in 1818 ended Maratha dominance. Ahilyabai Holkar. Ahilyabai Holkar rose from humble origins to become a model ruler. She rebuilt temples, promoted justice, trained women soldiers, and earned the title Rashtramata. Sikh Empire and Anglo-Sikh War. Under Maharaja Ranjit Singh, the Sikh Empire remained powerful and independent. After his death in 1839, succession struggles weakened the empire. 2 Anglo-Sikh wars followed. In 1849, Punjab was annexed by the British. Final irony and conclusion. For every one European soldier, 6 Indian soldiers fought for the British. India was conquered with the help of Indians themselves. Yet resistance never died. These sacrifices laid the foundation for India's future freedom struggle. Jai Hind.